Hey, welcome back to another episode of Football 101. Today we are going to be going over how you can draw and test plays yourself. To do this, we will be utilizing a software I have created called Chalkboard. To introduce the program, I'm going to play the trailer if you haven't seen it already. If you have already seen it, skip to the time listed in the bottom right. Introducing Chalkboard. Chalkboard is a new software that allows you to draw any play in football. Come up with anything you can think of. Every personnel, formation, shift, motion, play, and anything your mind can come up with can be made with Chalkboard. But that's not where it ends. You can actually run the play you make to see how it plays out on the field. But Chalkboard isn't just an offensive editor, but a defensive editor too. You can also create any defense you can think of. Select from one of the over 30 pre-made coverages, or make your own by giving players individual assignments. Further customize your defense with man coverage types, player rotation order, and more. Also, when a player is in zone coverage, the player can think for itself. Watch this flat defender balance multiple threats. Now, for the best part, you can run offensive plays against defensive plays. This allows you to both test plays or demonstrate how certain plays will work in different situations. Ready to get drawing? Chalkboard, coming soon. For years, I have searched for a program that allows me to not just draw my own plays, but one that lets me run the play and test it against opposing coverages. I searched for a while and never found anything that exactly fit my needs. I found some decent solutions out there that checked some of the boxes, but there was never one that checked all of them. Finally, some time ago, I decided to put together my computer science knowledge and football knowledge to create Chalkboard. So, let me introduce you to the tools you have available with this program. To start, we have the Situation Manager, and here you can edit the down, distance, and yard line of the play. Once you have the situation you are looking for, you will start making a play. To start, let's add some players. You can either click one of the personnel shortcuts or add players manually to create your wildest concept. I can sense the 10 offensive lineman formation brewing. Now that we have players, it's time to set them in their starting positions. To start, simply click a player to edit them. If you ever forget who you are editing, they are highlighted on the field. You can either manually place them with the move tools, the scroll bars for large changes and the arrows for small adjustments, or use one of the many shortcuts found here to expedite the process. Now it's time to start creating the play. First off, we can add a shift to as many players as we want. They will all shift at the same time and then sit. If wanted, we can then also give one player a motion. Just as in real life, only one player can have a motion at the time of the snap. Finally, we can give every player an assignment. This is what the player is actually going to be doing post-snap. Whether it will be running a slant or pulling to block, this is found here. To edit any motions or assignments you have given a player, simply drag the waypoint on the screen. You can easily add or remove landmarks as needed on the right side. You might have noticed when selecting a motion or assignment, the only options right now are none or custom. Note that one thing that I intend to add in the future is prefab motions and assignments such as slants so that you do not have to redraw common assignments. Also take notice that you will be able to save custom assignments so that you will never have to redraw anything. So, now that we have our play, the program will execute any shifts and then run any motions. It will then wrap it all up by running the assignment. So, let's run our play we made. Another cool thing we can look at is when you select a player, take note of the player info screen on the left. This screen includes the player position and pass eligibility. I plan to expand this with more information in the future. Now, what is any offensive play without its defensive counterpart? Let's switch the editor into defensive mode to start editing our defense. To start, we can select the defensive personnel. There are 3 options currently. Today, let's go with the classic American 4-3. From here, we can either select one of the over 30 pre-made coverages, or you can make a new play from scratch. To select the pre-made coverage, simply select the coverage dropdown and pick your favorite. To make a custom defense, simply select a player the same way you do an offensive player and then give them an assignment. Note how players cheat towards their zone just slightly dependent on their assignment. This accurately reflects real tendencies that allow for pre-snap reads offensively. We can now further customize our defense with options such as pre-snap man coverage type and player rotation. To start with, let's look at rotations. Some teams like to rotate the safety first to help with boundary pass protection and keep the linebackers as close to the run as possible, while others like to rotate linebackers first to protect against the deep ball. So you can choose whichever rotation fits your needs best. Look at how the same defense aligns differently against the same offense because of rotation order. Now let's take a look at the man coverage options. In bump, players will pass off man coverage responsibility. This is popular on the goal line, and you might recognize it from the Chiefs abusing the Eagles' bump man coverage on the goal line multiple times in the Super Bowl. Watch how the left linebacker starts with the man coverage on the motion wide receiver pre-snap, but passes him off to the right linebacker during the motion. However, for lock man coverage, this is traditional, follow your man everywhere, including pre-snap. Let's run the same motion, but watch how it is handled differently. Notice how there's a lot of empty space on the defensive editor? Well, there are plans to flesh out options for more customization in the works, such as front customization, custom pre-snap locations, and more. Also, anything you create can be saved and loaded in the top right. Everything you have seen today is from the first version of the editor. As you have heard, there is still a lot I plan to do, which is why it is not yet available for download. Before Chalkboard is ready to be released to the public, a handful of features and a buttload of bug fixes need to be completed. But until then, subscribe to the channel for updates, and I can't wait to share more. However, if you have a special interest in wanting to use this software early, I will be looking for people to test it. Please reach out to this email if you are interested. In the email, simply state your interest and how you plan on using the editor. Well, that's about it for today. From creating new plays, to game planning, to showing a QB the timing of routes and reads before even hitting the practice field, the possibilities and applications of Chalkboard are staggering. This includes this channel as well. Chalkboard will allow me to save countless hours of manually drawing and animating plays by instead taking mere minutes to simulate in the program. Hopefully, this means more videos coming soon. And so that wraps up the lesson for today. Till next time, thanks for watching. Chalkboard, coming soon.